I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Oh, yes. Rellism Live Sports Talk, episode 117. We are live with my man, Tommy Simmers, GM Tommy. If y'all watch the Raw show, y'all know who I'm talking about. He in the house. He's got his rings on. I got my rings on. If Brandon was able to come, he would have been here. We'd had only champions, only fantasy recap league. You know what I'm saying? So what's good, Tommy? You good?
I've been good.
Hey, thank you for tuning in. YouTube, podcast, Facebook that my man runs right here. Now y'all got a face to everything going on. We taking on all comers, and we collab with the ones that are worthy enough for us. Thank you, Jason, at Sports Profit One, for letting me get on the podcast draft. I like the way you did it. We're gonna set it up to see who did have the best draft. You know what I'm saying? You can't see him, but I got love for the Mamba. Today is Mamba Day. Yesterday was his birthday. And I always got love for my mama. You know what I mean? Rellism Sports Talk, where we talk about sports from the Hall of Famers to the local talent to the big time storylines. And speaking of the local talent, this Saturday, be on the lookout. We are doing a big old joint on the Pacheco family. Angel's been one of my best friends for years. We went to school together, helped coach his kids. His kids are doing big things. He's got 3 boys that are doing big things, but he's got other kids too. We'll talk about it on Saturday. Be ready for that. Harrisonburg's finest, Pacheco family. Angel, we love you, man. We love you. But we're going to get into some fantasy today, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? This is champions only right now. He's one of my biggest adversaries, so I had to have him on. He's showing off the showcase on his fingers. He's been doing it in my leagues less than me, and he got jewelry like that, so I'm jealous a little bit, little bit.
It's easy. It's these guys know what they're doing too. So it's been a challenging few years. We've learned from each other. I agree.
Yeah, we push each other. Mama Day. So we get into it. So fantasy football, man. Fantasy football. When you join a league, like when you first joined the big league, what's one of the things you look at? You know, for new people that just starting out playing fantasy football, what's some of the things you look at?
I mean, you're gonna look for trends. Your biggest is your first year. You're gonna want to nail your first 3 rounds. So you're gonna look at the trends, and you're going to try to be competitive. So when you're coming in, fantasy football is really based around, depending on what type of league you're in, the running back or the wide receiver. You're looking at the PPR leagues or the standard leagues. So once you've kind of figured out what your first 3 rounds are going for, and you've got some trends down, you're going to learn through that first year kind of where you're going at after that. But for that first year, that beginner player, nail those first 3 rounds. Try not to vary outside of that. And after that, go ahead and then play splash and go see what you want.
I feel you. And so when he says win your first 3 rounds, he's talking about, first of all, know your rules. Know the format. Some people run 2 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers, 2 flexes, 2 QBs. Know all those things because everything's essential. You know what I mean? Know who's beside you in the draft order. Because you might have somebody below you that might be a certain player that drafts a certain way or like certain teams. Know these things because these little things can help you. Not saying it's perfect, but these things can help you. So most leagues, even though I'm a fan of the league, the TV show, they have an 18 league. We don't play those. We better than that. 10-team leagues, 12-team leagues, 14-team leagues that he's won twice. Anyway, when you're talking about these leagues, does your draft decisions change when you start looking at it from, how I'm going to set everything up?
Yeah, my draft decisions change based mostly off of my first round positioning. My first round positioning kind of dictates what type of team I can have. If you're highly rated and you've got that first through third pick, you've got a stud coming off that's going to give you those 20 points, and you can afford to kind of go for some ceiling players early. If you've got something like a lower round pick, then you might need to grab that bank and get that 15-point guy and that 15-point guy and get your 30 points and jump that guy who grabbed that early round pick for 20 points and hope that his splash didn't work.
There we go. I'm better than that. Anyway,
so your draft positioning is what I'm looking at most varied year by year.
So if you're in a 10-team league and you got the number 1 pick as opposed to 12 or 14, you might, as a 10-team league and you got the number 1 pick, you're always going to take the best player, right?
Every year.
Or in a 12-team league, does that change?
No, I'm still taking number 1 overall.
14-team league, does that change?
Possibly.
Because on the comeback is longer, right?
It's such a long time before you roll again that you're looking at a possibility of not getting that second running back should you really want to grab a wide receiver at 1 or something like that. It could change your idea of what you want.
Gotcha. Now let's flip the script. If you're in a 10-team league at number 10 or 12 at 12 and 14 at 14, is that similar or does that change?
Not as much because you're going back to back. Your picks are so close together. I mean, it's kind of similar to being in the middle. You're just kind of
like Keith.
Yeah, you're kind of smacked into what you're going to get, and your draft idea is still the same.
I agree. I totally agree. I think your first pick should be your nail, period. But you should already know on the comeback which way you want to set up. But every draft is different. People I've been talking to already like, I'm going to draft a running back or a wide receiver or a running back and da-da-da. I'm like, yo, you can't always tell, right? Every draft is different. People are different. You have to go with the flow of the draft. Do not get caught up. What up, Keith? Do not get caught up in saying, I'm going to do a running back, wide receiver, or running back. Don't get caught up in that, right? Isn't that where a lot of people falter?
They definitely do. You're looking to fill out your roster with the best players you have available on your board. It doesn't matter if you've got 3 wide receivers in your first 3 rounds. You're going for your BPAs, and they may vary different than the national BPAs, but you want to hit your best player available here.
So before we dive into all the players and all the overrated, underrated, everything else, we got to talk about the big-time storylines. Baker Mayfield, the quarterback of the reason why you got some of them rings. Anyway, Baker Mayfield is now the starter, which is a shocker, right? I think Keith said in the group chat, shocker. He's the starter in Carolina. Who does that help enhance more? Is it DJ Moore or is it Christian McCaffrey?
Oh, over top of Darnold, it's definitely McCaffrey. Darnold was incapable of doing anything once scared, and Mayfield can. He's going to give it to the back. So if Carolina's struggling, he's going to easily take that ball and dump it right down to McCaffrey. I see McCaffrey getting a hefty bump in receptions this year.
Are you scared of McCaffrey with the injury history?
Never.
That's your guy. That's your guy.
I know him well enough because I've drafted him since.
Yeah, we know, dude. We know about the rings. We know about the rings with Christian McCaffrey.
So and I can tell you, he's not injury prone. He was saved.
That's true.
He was saved. They knew they didn't have a lot. They played for draft positioning, and they have pushed him every time he's been injured over the last couple of years. If this is a 2-week injury, it's going to take Christian 4. That's by their design, not his.
Because I know before Baker Mayfield even came into the equation, as champions that we are, we look at fantasy earlier than most. Christian McCaffrey was looked upon as like second round. And all of a sudden, people started looking and like, he might be the number 1 pick.
I said it the whole time.
It went that high. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Is there any way possible? Because we know that most people are thinking Jonathan Taylor's the number 1 pick, right? I mean, I think he's hands down most people's pick. Unless they want to just go out on a limb and get a wide receiver, Cooper Kupp or Justin Jefferson. Could Christian McCaffrey be the number 1 pick over Jonathan Taylor now that Baker's there?
No. But it does not have to do with skill. In a PPR format, if you interchanged them, Christian is definitely the number 1 overall pick on the Colts roster. It's that offensive line that the Colts have that they've locked down for that many years, where I can just look at Jonathan Taylor and say he's a top 3 pick over the next 4 years.
Keith said that knee injury scares people. Now, It's never been an ACL. It's never been no torn stuff like that. He's had some fluky type injuries.
It's just the injury. It's not a head injury. It's not a leg injury. It's just been simple soft tissue stuff. This guy isn't something you need to be scared from. He's definitely got the power to keep this coming.
I think Swole Daddy tomorrow night's still going to pick Jonathan Taylor. But it's an interesting thing because where is Christian McCaffrey going to go? I'm curious to see who's going to pull the trigger when you got surefire bets, in my opinion, at the wide receiver position. The running backs after Jonathan Taylor, you're looking at Derrick Henry with mileage. We're looking at Austin Eckler with you're still a little dude, and they got a rookie dude that just came in. We're looking at Christian McCaffrey with the injuries. We're looking at Dalvin Cook who keeps being injured. So I look at it like I wonder 2 through 4. how it's going to play out. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. What would you do?
On 2 through 4, I'm taking CMC at 2. I'm taking Chase or Jefferson at 3 and 4.
You skip Cooper Kupp.
I don't think Cooper Kupp's at the top receiver next year.
Wow. Okay. All right, another QB. I'm going to jump to it while Keith's still on here real quick. The Steelers. All three of them fools been looking good, even if Mason Rudolph couldn't look bad, but he's looking all right anyway. Pickett, Trubisky. Does whoever becomes a starter, does it matter as far as fantasy goes between like Najee, Deontay, Chase Claypool? Does it matter?
Yes, it matters.
So if let's say Trubisky's the starter, who does that help if Trubisky's the starter?
If Trubisky's the starter, it helps no one. He's a horrible.
So you like, I don't know. Keith said he likes startup. So you think Pickett should start?
I think Pickett can help you in fantasy because he can isolate a position.
Not individually.
I think
you're talking about helping other players, right?
Yeah.
How does Pickett help other players?
He doesn't help anybody fantasy wise or Pickett.
Yeah. How does Pickett help other players?
He helps the tight end. He helps the tight end because he's a rookie. I mean, the rookies are known to hit that tight end. They've got a potential tight end in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So I could see with a rookie QB coming in, Pittsburgh really exploiting the tight end position through Pickett.
And I'm gonna ask Keith on Friday, but so I've heard back to back, people going on crazy because it's easy to say start Trubisky and then bring the rookie in afterwards. My thing is the way their offensive line sucks. Just throw the rookie in there right now. But then the people say, what about David Carr with all the sacks and you might injure his whole career? What's your thought process? Who would you start?
I would start Pickett. I don't consider Pickett quite as much of a rookie. He's a 4-year starter.
He's older, right?
He's
24?
Almost 25 years old come midseason.
24, baby.
So
see that, Keith? 24 Lakers.
I think if he's not ready to start by midseason this year, then you've wasted your first round
pick
already.
By midseason?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like week 1.
So that you can do. So if you're thinking this guy should be ready by week 6, then he can be played week 1. So by week 6, I should be seeing competitive football out of this guy. And we'll see what happens.
I think in Pittsburgh, when I look at Pittsburgh, the way they're bloodthirsty. Ben Roethlisberger, Hall of Famer, the way he came in as a rookie, he wasn't asked to do everything, but he came in as a rookie and led them to this unbelievable record. Pickett played at Pittsburgh in college. So I feel like as soon as Mitchell Trubisky steps on the field and he throws one interception, the crowd's going to be going crazy for this dude to get the hell out of here and get Pickett back in. So avoid all that. Avoid it already. Let Pickett start. Let Pickett start because it's going to damage the relationship between Pickett and Trubisky if you don't, because if you let Trubisky start, the crowd's going crazy for Pickett. They're going to have animosity. Let him start. Go ahead. What you think?
I mean, I think you got to start the veteran, being that the coach knows that QB. I don't think the coach is very much concerned with the fans.
That's true. Thomas don't care.
So he's going to go ahead and put the Trubisky guy in because they've got the OC now to handle that.
All right, another quarterback that you love so much, and you think that he is like my man Josh Allen. If y'all watch the Raw show, you know I dog him about this shit all the time. Ryan Tannebaum and Willis. Does either one of them, and I think Tannehill's probably going to be the starter, but would Willis being a starter change any fantasy value for anyone?
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
So you think Henry would do better if Willis is the quarterback than Tannehill?
They're going to run
Why
the ball.
is that?
They'll run the ball 10 more times a game with a rookie quarterback. Easy.
But wouldn't they stack the box against him? Because I don't think he can throw it.
It doesn't matter.
His elusiveness will help.
They're gonna pound the rock. Derrick Henry is gonna beat your safety. Free safety beats Derrick Henry.
Okay, I agree with that. But is that gonna hurt Robert Woods? People want to draft Robert Woods or the rookie that they got to replace AJ Brown. Willis is definitely gonna hurt their value, right?
Burks.
Traylon Burks.
Yeah, Burks is probably somebody I would avoid, but
you're avoiding him. We'll get to the rookies later on. But you're avoiding Burks.
I would avoid Burks
because he has not stepped up like other rookies in preseason.
Well, with the whole wide receiver position as a whole, it's really QB dependent, and I don't trust that QB in Tennessee.
But you trust Tannehill?
No, I don't trust him in a wide receiver at all.
Would you draft Robert Woods?
Not in fantasy.
Not even.
Would I? Yes. If he falls to the
Would
right
you
round.
take Robert Woods?
At the round he's projected at right now? Absolutely not.
Wow. What round is that? 9?
He's out in the 8th and the 8th between the 7th
So you
and
would
the
take
10th.
any Kansas City receiver over him?
Not any. But
they're all
2. I would take 2.
You would take Juju over Robert
Yes,
Woods?
You take Juju over Robert Woods. You take
I
the QB.
wouldn't. I'm
You take
taking
the
Robert
QB.
Woods.
Take the QB.
I don't trust Juju at all.
Take the QB.
What up, Smitty? What's up, baby? I see you. Is Travis Kelce a reach at 8?
No.
Okay, how many teams in the league though? Because my thing is about a 10-team league.
Then
a 10-team league, you go for elite talent at every position. It doesn't matter because the waiver wire is gonna be full. The waiver wire is packed.
12 teams.
You know what I mean? 12 teams.
He's not a reach.
Hell no. No, that's a reach.
No, he's not a reach. He's not a reach at 8. Because what you're doing then is you're almost guaranteeing that he's taken by 12. He's taken by 12. So you're taking the run at tight end. You're hoping what you have to do then, if you're taking Kelce at 8, what you have to do then is grab like Goddard in the 3rd or 4th, or even grabbing Andrews in the 2nd and make the league take a run at tight ends.
See, I'm not scared to do. I don't care if people.
You have to flex your tight end.
If you're going to take in a 12-team league, and I wish somebody would do that tomorrow because I'm number 10 in order. I think I am. I wish somebody would take him at 8 because that's a super reach because you're not taking one of those elite running backs because 1 through 8, you're going to have maybe 1 or 2 top-notch wide receivers that are going to get taken. The rest are going to be running backs. I need a running back in the first round.
It's not about.
I need a running back in the first round at 8. Sorry.
It's about the positional point difference. If you can make them take a tight end that's going to play 6 points underneath yours, you have created a 6 points advantage week by week. You can make them take a run at tight ends. It's not. See,
I got Kelce lower than he does, as you can tell. But that's why we're doing this show, man. Y'all can take heed to whatever advice you want to. You know what I'm saying? I like that Keith said it's a reach. Keith knows. He's the champion right now of the FFF league, which is a 14-team league. 14-team league, and he's the champion. And he's agreeing with me. So thank you, Keith. Anyway. All right, so let's get to the next thing. Tony Busby, who represented the women for Deshaun Watson, which we're not going to get into all the Philly touchy stuff. But if nobody knows, Alvin Kamara was involved in a little scuffle at the Pro Bowl. And he wants him to start serving his 6-game suspension now. The league has said that it's going to be pushed back until next year. And I'm like, word, I'm drafting Alvin Kamara. Now this dude is putting it out there in the spotlight, out there in the public. And you know how the public does. Look what they're doing, Brittany Griner and everybody else going crazy. Are you nervous to draft Alvin Kamara in the first round?
Absolutely.
Because of that?
Yes.
I'm not. I'm taking Alvin Kamara because I'm high on the Saints. And on Friday on my Raw thing, I'm changing them to be division winners. Everybody in the Raw show, we'll talk about that later on. But
are you folding your first round keeper with Kamara?
No.
Because he's suspended 6 games next year.
If Alvin Kamara falls to me at number 10, that's a good point. That's a good point. But
no matter what he's going to do.
But see, I draft well, son. So I don't have to use my first round pick as my keeper.
You're not going to have him next year.
That's it. And what Tommy said is a great point. If you're in a keeper league for the following year and you take Alvin Kamara knowing that he's probably going to get suspended 6 games the next year, do you draft him in the first round? And that's why he's won those 2 rings in the big league because he thought about McCaffrey. You get this championship insight right here. You get the championship insight. But I live my life day to day and I win year to year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm drafting him because I want to win year to year. I don't worry about the future. You know what I'm saying? I think I can make up for it later on. But that's good. That's a good thought process. I never thought about that with Alvin Kamara. So we'll see how that happens tomorrow. Who's going to pull that trigger of the unknown? Like for people that had their fantasy drafts before Deshaun Watson got the 11 games as opposed to the 6.
Right. Somebody
might have pulled the trigger as a backup and said, I'll risk 6 games.
Right.
And now they're eating crow like, damn. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you could be on something with that. Kenyon Drake, I know he's not a star, he's not nothing, but he affects fantasy. The Raiders, Josh Jacobs, they didn't pick up their 5th-year option. Does Kenyon Drake getting released from the Raiders affect Josh Jacobs, or does he affect Abdullah, or does he affect the rookie that they drafted?
He affects Abdullah the most. Abdullah he's the replacement for Kenyon Drake.
Okay.
I've never understood that signing of Abdullah because I thought it was forcing Jacobs out and leaving you 2 of the same guys. And now you've got my answer. And Drake is gone, which I kind of thought was going to happen. His flash in Arizona, he was overpaid in Las Vegas, and now he'll probably be a Giant. But
would you draft him? I'm not.
No. Abdullah's draftable now, though.
Now, do you draft Jacobs higher with Kenyon Drake gone?
Yes.
How much higher? Because I've seen Jacobs like the 4th, 5th round.
He's going in the bottom of
How
the
much
4th.
more do you go higher with him?
He's guaranteed 4th round pick now.
So now it's not a maybe 4th or 5th. Now it's a guaranteed 4th.
He's a 4th round pick. He's probably going in before you pick him in the late.
You're not
4th.
worried about the rookie?
No, never worried about that rookie.
Okay. Because you love the Raiders, right?
No, I hate the Raiders.
He's a Denver fan, guys. No, he like let it ride
all day
long. All right, so that's good. So if Kenyon Drake gets released, what team would help him as far as fantasy goes, in your opinion?
If Kenyon Drake gets released and he's going out there fantasy-wise, he would be best bet to set off in Tampa.
Why is that?
Because Brady knows how to hit it back and use him like a James White role. I could see Tampa being a good role for him. Lenny's got mileage as well. And he's starting to get racked up in it. So I'd like to see.
I didn't think about Tampa. Tampa's a good fit. I said Buffalo.
That's another
because
one.
They tried to get my boy J.D. McKissick. I could see them in a similar type, scat back type things. And Buffalo is ready to go. And if you can get anybody in Buffalo's offense, I don't care if it's Isaiah McKenzie, Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, Keith's boy Dawson Knox, rest in peace his brother and everything. But I think if he could go there, he might be a flyer with maybe one of your last picks.
Oh,
just in case, I know they got the rookie. They drafted that rookie up, Dalvin Cook's brother,
James.
But I think that he's more of a scat back that they want. I think that whole backfield's up. I will not draft Devin Singletary, Zach Moss. I will not draft any of them. What about you?
I mean, I could see easily drafting James Cook.
So you're higher on the rookie
in a 14-team league. If I'm
you're thinking about the FFL, the 14.
No, I'm not thinking about that one. Or a 12-team, even the T League. If you drafted him in the last 2 rounds, let's say Singletary ends up bombing, they give up on balls, and I've got the starting running back in Buffalo's offense in the 11th round. I don't care who my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks were. That's a pretty hard.
Look, Brandon agree with me, and that's another champion I was gonna have on the show, but he lives a little.
If James Cook gets alone in the Bills' backfield, if James Cook next year is alone in the Bills' backfield,
but I feel like we're talking about the same type thing like New England's backfield. You know what I mean? New England's backfield, Kansas City's backfield.
Bills are out of money. They're gonna have to roll. It's veterans and these guys.
So you don't think Kenyon Drake would fit? That's what I was trying to say.
James Cook fits better. He's already on roster.
And he's already there. You might be right, Tom. You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. All right, so let me ask you one thing. As far as the rounds that they are drafted, who is a better pickup? Jamar Chase, which you already got in the first 5 picks. And we talking about keepers. Jalen Waddle, who was setting rookie records last year. Almost got Chris to a championship that I got. And then we got Amon-Ra St. Brown. For their draft capital, who would you take?
In DFS, I'm taking Amon-Ra St. Brown every week I can. In a yearly format, I'm taking non-keeper.
I see Brandon. Look, Brandon said Josh Allen's the best. I had Jacobs last year, but Jacobs sucks. Don't pick him again, dude. Anyway, go ahead.
In a yearly format, I'm probably going to go with the high guy, and I'll probably keep.
So you would take Chase
with
like
in a keeper league
pick?
As well, and Waddle's pick as well.
Waddle's gonna be what, a second
round? I think Waddle has QB issues, and Chase could be your keeper.
You love dogging Brandon's team.
No, Chase could be your keeper for the Chase and what's his name? The
T. Higgins?
Mr. Swag. They're QB.
Oh,
Burrows. They're going to be that's a 10-year connection. He's your keeper for the next 10 years. He's a top 8 pick for the next 10 years. You have no excuse not to win a championship with a top 8 pick.
I think that, I don't see them getting back to the Super Bowl, but that's another story.
Not fantasy-wise.
Fantasy. It's something about Chase that I don't know if I feel comfortable with him. And Jalen Waddle, I don't know if there's enough balls for him. They got 14 different running backs in Miami, 14 different ones. And then you got, what he said. Oh, Brandon said Waddle over Chase. I would agree with that, but I think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown because the boy from Alabama is already on the PUP. He's not going to be there. I don't trust DJ Chark. TJ Hawkinson, I think, is taking a back seat. I think he's got the connection like Goff had with Cooper. I mean, with Cup.
What's he going to do next year with a QB? With Matt Ryan at 47.
But we're talking about draft position. Amon-Ra
You got to
St. Brown.
keep him. You got to keep him.
St. Brown, you're getting him what, the 4th round, 5th round?
And I'm taking Jamar Chase and his QB
in the first
all day
round.
long. In the first round. I'm taking that QB all day long.
I don't know. I think a lot of first round picks I would take over Jamar Chase. I don't know. Like if I got Justin Jefferson, I'd rather have Justin Jefferson for years than Jamar Chase for years. That's just my opinion.
This man wants him at 10.
I don't know. At 10. I'd love all of them at 10.
Right.
Love them all at 10. I ain't gonna get nothing at 10 with you and Brandon around me, damn it. Anyway, so breaking news from the Eagles sideline reporter. D'Ernest Johnson. Remember I always talked about the Eagles getting a running back because I hate Miles Sanders. I hate their whole shit. Kareem Hunt wants to be traded. They're not going to trade him. But D'Ernest Johnson, who won some games for me last year, might get traded to the Eagles for Jalen Reagor, who's been a first-round bust. I think that's a fair trade. You put Jalen Reagor with Amari Cooper. You know what I mean? What do you think? And then granted, I know Watson's not there, but
I love the trade. I mean,
it's
maybe
good for both, right?
Yeah, swap some.
It's a fair trade, unlike the trade that Brandon does in fantasy.
Oh my, worst. Don't even entertain him. Oh, that's that dude.
Even George Teague said that. He was like, "What the fuck is this guy? What is he offering me out here?" Keith said, "I've been thinking about it, kind of like my pick at 6. Think about what Waddle.
Take Waddle at 6.
Yeah, go ahead, Keith. Take him at 6. That'll be the only championship you win. That'll go one hit wonder, Vanilla Ice. Anyway, so for that trade, obviously you're not going to pick up Jalen Reagor in fantasy, obviously. But D'Ernest Johnson, because I'm not high on Miles Sanders at all. Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, none of them. But do you think Johnson would be something in fantasy if he went to the Eagles?
Yeah. I mean, Miles Sanders, I have a lot higher rated. He's draftable.
Do you really?
Oh,
why?
Yeah, he's draftable every year because he's Jalen Hurts' running back. And as long as that's true, you take him because Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball and he's going to pitch options. He's going to give the ball to running backs.
But what has Miles Sanders done?
Get you about 8 touchdowns and 800 yards. Take him.
You're happy with? You don't think D'Ernest Johnson could do more than that?
I'll take him as my third RB all day long.
Third?
Yes.
Did you see me in the podcast thing? I got him as like my next to last pick.
Nah, you can get him as your third to fourth RB all day long.
I'm not using him as my third RB.
Don't
sorry.
underrate that.
I
guy.
can't do it. Miles Sanders sucks. He sucked at Penn State. He sucks.
He's gonna start 16.
He can't catch the ball out the backfield. He sucks. Don't do it. Don't draft Miles Sanders. Don't do it.
League winner.
I'm about to put it on the board. No, it ain't the Raw show. It ain't the Raw show. All right, so look, we're going to start getting into some overrated QBs, all right? Overrated QBs. Who do you think is the most overdrafted QB at their draft position?
Oh, Josh Allen. He's being taken.
What? Josh Allen?
He's not the first overall QB.
He's not the first overall?
He's not the first overall QB.
Who's the number 1 QB?
They picked up Von Miller for a reason. This is a different Buffalo team.
How the hell? Hold on. For y'all that don't know,
Pat Mahomes.
This guy.
Lamar
watch
Jackson.
The Raw show.
Then
this guy,
Josh Allen.
Von Miller will pop up at anything he talks about.
I didn't say Von. They've reinvested in the defense in Buffalo.
That's better.
And honestly, Pat Mahomes is still the best QB and has the most potential to score points until somebody proves me otherwise. And Josh hasn't really done that as much as Lamar Jackson has. So I'll take Lamar on a healthy year before I take Josh as well. So Josh is overdrafted.
Guys, you know how I do Tommy. I be getting his ass. As we rewind this tape, wasn't this the same guy that was talking about I'm taking Cook because I want every piece of this offense? Now you're telling me that Josh Allen's overdrafted?
Yeah, he's overdrafted. No, Cook is
that makes no sense what you're saying.
Next year. Because
Brandon, I'm with you, baby. That's my number 1. Wait till we get to it. Go ahead.
No. Cook is your next year's answer. He's a possible 11th to 12th answer.
So you're telling me
round.
You would take Patrick Mahomes ahead of Josh Allen when you can get Patrick Mahomes 2 rounds later.
Yes. I would rather take Pat Mahomes. I'm saying he's overdrafted. I think that taking a QB anywhere before the 7th is crazy, and most of them are taking.
So you're not getting Patrick Mahomes in the 7th.
No.
You're getting Patrick Mahomes in like the 4th. Josh Allen maybe the 2nd
or 3rd.
Or
and
3rd.
That's crazy.
So that's barely any
There's
difference.
been one QB in history worth a 2nd-round pick, and his name was Michael Vick. Lamar Jackson hasn't been. If he can do it another year, maybe.
But what did somebody say if that? It might have been Brandon. He said the best running back in Buffalo was Josh Allen. What do they do? He scores touchdowns.
He
can throw touchdowns, catch touchdowns. Why do you think people are high on Isaiah McKenzie and Gabriel Davis?
I'm not saying he doesn't.
Because he throws touchdowns.
But throwing touchdowns only counts for
Nobody
4
cares
points.
about Devin Singletary because he runs touchdowns.
They count for 4 points. And he
Matt
might
Molly's they count as 6.
And he might have 3 more rushing touchdowns than Pat. 6 more rushing touchdowns than
He's
Pat.
got way more than that.
Nah. Pat might have 1,000 more yards than him.
Not for the fucking Eagles, dude. Relax.
Pat Mahomes?
Nah, I said with Michael Vick. For the Falcons.
No, for the Falcons.
For the Falcons. Nobody cares about the Beagles. Anyway.
There was 3
So
years.
you said your number 1 was Josh Allen. My number one, just like who said it? Brandon. See, that's why I told you Brandon was gonna be on the show. Yeah, he got that mind like that too.
He's good.
It's Lamar Jackson, dude. He's the most overdrafted. I've seen Lamar Jackson go to like the 3rd best quarterback. Dude, he was on. I never get last place at nothing I do. He was my quarterback in the big league. And at the end of the season, I was number 1. But at the playoffs, going, damn. I mean, I wasn't number 1. I was the last. He was my quarterback. Anyway, contract. He don't have a contract. What does he do well? He runs the ball. You don't think he's going to be worried about getting hit and knowing that money ain't guaranteed? People can say insurance all they want to. Lamar Jackson's a different kind of breed, dude. He makes more money off the field than he will on the field.
No, he doesn't.
What commercial
have you seen, Lamar? Have you seen this man?
I said he will.
Lamar
you ain't never seen Tom Brady make commercials either. But now you see him everywhere doing commercials.
Lamar's not commercial built, but
why? Because he's black?
Nah, because he's.
Dude.
But Lamar is a good QB, and he's the only one that has the potential to score.
Yeah,
more than
4-point Keith. No,
the only person that has the potential to score more than 10 rushing touchdowns at the QB position. That's why he's draftable over Josh Allen.
Ooh, hold on. So you're. I'm glad we got live viewers hearing this shit. He said he would take Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen. Somebody better get in the comments and say something about that shit. Please get in the comments and say something about that. What?
I like Lamar.
Yeah, we know you love Lamar. We know you love Lamar. MVP. Just like you love Sierra. That's why you like Russell Wilson. Is so great. No. Lamar Jackson, he is a stud. He's great. He's a good player. But Josh Allen is different. Josh Allen's different.
Is he?
So hold on. So you said Patrick Mahomes is above Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's above. So Lamar's number 1. Patrick Mahomes is 2?
No.
Patrick Mahomes is 1.
Yes.
Lamar's 2. Where's Josh Allen at?
3.
He at least got 3.
Where's the 3rd QB taken?
Look, he said, please take him over.
The 3rd QB is taken in the 6th and 7th round. Josh is being taken in the 2nd and 3rd. He is way, way overvalued. Do you know you could have so many wide receivers?
No, dude, I get Herbert in like the 5th round. What do you mean?
You could have Jalen Waddle. You shouldn't be getting Herbert in the 5th.
I'm taking the MVP Herbert 5th, 6th round. Happy with it.
7th round.
Happy with it.
Gosh, all y'all overvalue QBs by 2 rounds.
Who was your QB last year?
Russell.
What position did you get?
Man, this is one of the few years
you
I
got
placed.
Last place?
I think I might have placed last.
Yeah. Okay.
I had Christian McCaffrey
Keep
too.
listening to him.
I had Christian McCaffrey too. Didn't both of them get injured?
Anyway, look, Hurts, Murray over Lamar.
That was a horrible year.
Ooh, and that's a good debate right there. Because I'm with you, Brandon. I am with you. See, Brandon, I'm telling you, yo. Hurts and Murray over Lamar. How you feel about that?
Murray's lost Christian Kirk, and they had to sign
Christian Kirk.
They had to sign. I told you last year Christian Kirk was the choice.
Are you drafting him?
And Moore was the choice over there.
Are you drafting Christian Kirk?
Yeah. Look, hold on. Wide receiver, sleeper, Christian Kirk. He's going to catch it. He's going to have 130 receptions thrown at him at least. At least. Yeah, they're going to feed that $70 million.
And the funniest thing is, what round are you drafting Christian Kirk?
Probably in the 7th.
7th round, Christian Kirk. I'm telling you, to get somebody off waiver wires named Marvin Jones, who Trevor Lawrence already has a rapport with, that you ain't got to spend no draft capital with, who's going to be just as good as Christian Kirk. And the tight end, Evan Ingram, already's got a rapport with him already. Who's been a bust? Who's been a bust for the Giants? We've been waiting for him. We've been waiting for him to show up.
He has no hands.
I'm telling you,
no hands.
The Jaguars like throwing it to the tight ends.
Hand injury prone.
They like throwing it to the tight ends. Christian Kirk, I can't see it. But hey, that's why we do these type things.
You can go to 7th and 10th.
So who's your next overdrafted quarterback?
Overdrafted quarterback? Tom Brady. He's a huge bust this year.
I agree. That's my number 2 too. We both agree. I mean, that offensive line is suspect.
He's got hurt wide receivers.
And hurt. He trying to do the Masked Singer. He's worried about his contract on ABCs. He did whatever the hell he's going to do.
Fox.
You know what I mean? He's not doing that. That's why I got the Saints. Tomorrow I'm changing it. Saints are going to win the division. Saints going. And number 3, I had Wilson. I think he is overdrafted. Overdrafted. I can't see it. I think Denver will be last place. Tell me why Wilson is good in your opinion.
I mean, first of all, he's got some of the best home field advantage in the league.
He's like, because his wife's Sierra. Go ahead.
He's got some of the best home field advantage in the league with Denver and Seattle both, and he's used to playing with that. So I'm really anxious to see him come in the mile high and do that. Plus, as far as being overdrafted, this dude's still got legs. His creativity level is.
Is he running like he used to?
Yes, he's still proven to be the number 1 QB.
He's not running.
He is still proven to be the number 1 QB outside the play. So I'm really anxious to see what his first year bust potential, I think, is actually low because if he doesn't understand the new coach's offense, if he doesn't understand the new team.
I don't know who that is. Drunk. I said Russell Wilson in the top 10 right now.
Yes, he's a top 10 QB.
No, hell
he's a top 10 QB.
No,
he's easy a top 10 QB.
What?
It's probably top 8. It's
probably top 8.
Yes.
You taking him over Hurts and Murray?
Fantasy wise or
fantasy wise? This is a fantasy show.
He's a top 10.
Are you taking Wilson over Murray and Hurts?
Mm.
Oh, now things change.
Everything after 6
now
is roster dependent. Everything after your 6.
No, answer the question, dude.
Who's my wide receivers?
No, stop doing that. You said he's top 8. Is he over Hurts and Murray?
Throwing up darts at a daily fantasy start. I'm taking no. I might take Hurts because of the division's weak defenses.
And then Murray then.
Nope, and then Wilson.
So you're taking Wilson over Murray?
I'll take Wilson over Murray. I'm still a little sus on Murray.
You love Russell.
He's got a lot of money.
Who didn't get money this offseason?
Lamar Jackson. He got to play for it.
That's because he's an idiot. He could have got his money a long time ago, dummy. You big dummy. He's going to be Isaiah Thomas not getting no bag. No bag at all. Wilson is the third best QB in his division.
Justin Herbert.
I mean, honestly, he might be 4th.
Justin Herbert is not the second best QB. You're talking about a losing QB versus.
Oh, no, he didn't say Herbert was second best.
You know he's got Herbert as second.
Herbert might be first best.
Okay. Herbert hasn't really had a winning record yet, but we've got the number 1 in 10 years winning record, Russell Wilson, on the other squad. It's not fair.
I don't worry about stats.
It's not 10 years of stats.
I don't care about that.
I mean, number 1 in completions.
Herbert hasn't played for 10 years, dude. I look at the eye test and what I see you see it.
Super Bowl rings.
You see it.
Been to a few.
You see it. So what? That's like them arguing about Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen it that far yet. All right, so we're kind of on the same page, kind of with the overrated. Give me an underrated QB that people are drafting way too low.
Underrated QB. Kirk Cousins is not being drafted in most leagues and could be. Matt Ryan is not being drafted.
Matt Ryan?
He is not being drafted in almost all
somebody told me that Matt Ryan was a sleeper because the number 1 pick is a running back for him. So he's a sleeper. You agree with that?
Well, I mean, if your number 1 pick, if the number 1 pick in fantasy football is on your squad, you're going to score.
So you're telling me that they were right?
They are right.
What? Whoever's drunk, I love you, whoever drunk is. James drunk. James Winston's on my list too. So you're thinking Matt Ryan really has fantasy value?
He's got top 12 potential.
All right, in a 10-team league, you're not taking Matt Ryan.
No, absolutely.
12-team leam, could he be a backup for your team?
Definitely. You
Over who?
Over Tom Brady, possibly.
Oh. Ooh, that's who else?
Tua.
You would take Matt Ryan over Tua?
I would take Matt
Even
Ryan
with the rushing ability of Tua?
What rushing ability?
Tua can run a little bit.
He's made of glass. I don't want him outside the pocket twice.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. My most underdrafted QB is Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to blow up this year. Not because of Christian. I knew you were going to say that. I think because he has a real coach now that's organized, that's not worried about going to the bar, chilling with the college sorority girls, that knows how to take Nick Foles to a championship in the Super Bowl. The talent of Trevor Lawrence and what everybody thought he was going to be, now he can really be what he's going to be. So I look forward to that. Who's another one for you?
For
underdrafted
QBs?
Yeah, he's a Tua hater for
I am definitely a Tua hater. For QBs and underdrafted, definitely being underdrafted on Wilson. Like I said, he could be easily sneaking into that top 10 category, top 7 category. He's in that range. You're undervaluing Jared Goff as well. I know that's the one. He's a flex starter. He is a DFS sleeper. He is somebody you can put in spot starts and straight up count on him to get 220 and 2. Like,
who's he throwing it to? Amon St. Brown, like I said earlier.
And some backs.
I think I'm high on Swift, which we'll get to. What about Trey Lance? Trey Lance could wind up being a QB1 at the end of the year. I think the 49ers team is ready to go. You're not high on Trey Lance?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No,
so you would take Matt Ryan
over Trey Lance.
Trey Lance as a backup.
Easy. I think Trey Lance is not going to be fantasy relevant by the end of the year.
He won some games for me last year. The 2 games he played. My championship game, I played Trey Lance and won a ring.
It was ridiculous. You shouldn't have needed to. He got like 70
over Russell Wilson. Over Russell Wilson.
Russell was hurt.
Oh no. He played. Obviously.
I know he played in the end of the year, but he was hurt. Obviously. He was hurt. Nah, Trey's not the guy out there.
What about
he runs the ball?
What about
you count on him? You're counting on him being healthy and running the ball.
Well, I mean,
good luck.
Of course, we're counting on anybody being healthy, dude.
And running the ball.
Well, he will run the ball.
He can't throw. Not like that yet. So,
all right.
Good
what
luck.
About some people were saying Marcus Mariota? They've seen some things he's done in the preseason, and he's looked okay. I mean, what about him? Do you think he has any fantasy value?
No, my rookie. I'm very low on Drake London.
I'm not.
I think Drake London is not anything to be respected yet in this league. And then Marcus is one of the main reasons why I can say that. He can't throw. I've seen him since the Oakland days. This guy was never scary.
Didn't you tell me Kyle Pitts could be the number 1 tight end?
Kyle Pitts can be the number 1
tight
end.
So who's throwing the ball to Kyle Pitts?
He's going to get 150 balls his way.
So you don't think every touchdown Kyle Pitts gets Marcus Mariota and get the same points?
Marcus Mariota cannot be a top 12 or even a top 20
I didn't say top 12
with 20 touchdowns.
Underdrafted. He's not even getting drafted.
He's not going to get 20 touchdowns.
I didn't ask you that. Could he be a backup quarterback on your team?
No. He's not going to get 20 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts might get 8 of those. He might get 10 of those. But you're not going to see Drake London get 4. And you're not going to see any other receiver get 4 in Atlanta.
I think Render takes Mariota's. Matt Ryan is a QB. Yo, he agreed with you. He agreed. I mean, ain't nothing I can really say. I mean, Tommy, whatever. All right, let's get to the running back game. Running back game real quick. Who is your most overdrafted running back?
Overdrafted running back right now, Austin Eckler, easily.
And why is that?
I'm really low on him because he's an undrafted free agent in his 3rd full year of starting duties. His carries are starting to rack up, and he's not built for this.
That's why they drafted the rookie, right?
Exactly. And they drafted a rookie a year before that. They drafted a rookie. And
it never worked out.
They have been trying to replace or build a backfield behind this guy and haven't done it, and he's gotten beat up. Honestly, I think seeing him run into the 3rd, 4th pick is insane. He can easily fall to being 8th, 9th. If he gets hurt, he could be replaced.
But I mean, you keep saying hurt. Anybody can get hurt, man.
Yeah, but his contract position puts him as replacement.
You said 3rd pick, so we're looking at 3rd through 6th. You're looking at guys that get hurt: Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry. I mean, all these guys get hurt.
Eckler's do. I'm looking at what they did last year and how much that hurt them. And Eckler, for the last 2 to 3 years, has been damaged. Where Christian, unfortunately for the guys who had him on their roster the last 2 to 3 years, fairly fresh and seemingly healthy. So let's take him before I take this guy who I think is not built for this.
Now, but I can see it. I'm looking at your boy Javonte. I'm not spending a first round pick on Javonte. I'm sorry. I can't do it because I don't think the organization believes in him enough. Because Melvin Gordon could have went many places. People asked to trade for Melvin Gordon. And what has he got? 1 year left?
We did not.
1 year left, right?
So if
you're going to get rid of somebody.
We signed him. We re-signed him.
You re-signed him.
After no other team picked him up for a minimum contract. We let him go, literally said, Javonte's the one. If you don't like it, go find another guy and find somebody to give you the ball. And he couldn't find anybody to give him the ball. So he was like, well, when I was with you guys, I had 1,000 yards.
Oh, you act like he sucked up to him. I don't hear that.
He did. That's literally what happened.
They don't have to.
They have so much faith behind Javonte. They let Gordon walk and crawl back.
Did they let him walk or let him walk? Options?
They let him walk and crawl
back.
They
let him have opened the door for options.
Gordon walked and crawled back. It was excellent.
And did he crawl? They don't have to pay him.
They paid him less than anybody else would. So he took less money.
It don't matter. This is fantasy, and he's still there. He's gonna get the ball too.
No, Javonte's worth it. He's definitely got
a first round pick.
No, first round.
He's getting drafted in the first round.
If you're in a keeper league, definitely. If you're in a keeper per round league, maybe not.
Yeah, we're in a keeper per round league, so definitely
keep the round. Keep the round.
Definitely not.
He might be worth a high second.
You just love him because he's Denver. Because all we do is have 1,000-yard rushers. Hey, I'll tell you what. Penny, don't draft Penny. I'm going to put it out on Keith's boy, Najee Harris.
Don't draft
Penny. Him. I like Najee Harris. I don't like their offensive line.
Do you like Kenneth Walker?
I will start in week 2 to 3. Yes, we'll get to them, though. Najee Harris. Until I found out their offensive line was so horrible, I was bullish on him. Right now, I think he's going to be very overdrafted because he's not going to give you the potential. What do you think?
Najee Harris is definitely a top 8 pick. I don't think there's any way he doesn't have.
He's going to be a top 8 pick. That's my point.
There's absolutely he's not undervalued. He's a definite.
No, overdrafted.
Nah, even take him at 4 if you're talking a top 8 pick, you can take him at 4.
Would you take Najee over Eckler?
Yes. He has a better chance of keeping that rock this year.
Keith even said, yeah, our O-line sucks. Keith, put in the comments, please. Would you take Austin Eckler or your boy Najee Harris? And this is a Steeler fan that's going to tell us.
He's going to say Najee.
So give me somebody that's underdrafted. Somebody that people are sleeping
out the running back
Keith
position?
said Najee. Of course you did, Keith.
Out the running back position, this is somebody's actually not even being picked up in most leagues. And I think that you could see by, like you said, week 3 and 4 popping up as a starter. He's for your squad.
Brian Robinson, baby.
Brian Robinson's.
We're going to get them into the rookies.
He's somebody who I see as – I look at sleepers and I think are underdrafted players, and I'm thinking rookie.
Yes.
And I see Brian Robinson as somebody who could be potentially the number 1 running back next year. And that would be amazing. That would be an amazing pickup for anybody. If you've got a guy who's going to be the number 1 running back by next year, he's a league winner in those playoff games.
I don't know if y'all saw me on this on the Power 32 podcast draft. I have him on my squad, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I think he's going to take over that job. I think he really will take over the job. They trust him more. But I'm still stuck on J.K. Dobbins and Swift for Detroit. I think people are forgetting that Swift led all running backs in catches for that team. He is a multi-purpose guy. He runs the ball and catches the ball. And I think Detroit's going to be way better than what people think. What do you think about Swift?
I think Swift is being drafted appropriately.
Second round?
He's a second-round pick. He could go in the high second. He can go in the mid-second. He should not fall to the end. And as far as how good Detroit is, they are they're a horrible.
I mean, you said Jared Goff. You said they're horrible. Jared Goff.
Yeah, he can start. If
and you don't want Amon St. Brown or Swift.
If Jared Goff is playing a team that's going to let a game manager do something, that's who you want.
What defense is that?
The Bears. He'd eat the Bears.
I mean,
they're
going to be the worst team in football.
He might be. You don't want to start Swift, but you might start a cheap Goff versus the Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles' defense sucks?
On the back end.
Because Bradbury got hurt?
Because Darius Slay is going to lose a step eventually. I like Slay.
Is Von Miller going to ever lose a step?
Not in the playoffs, baby.
This guy. Brandon said he got Swift in the first, late first. I was like, yeah, I agree with that. I think Swift's going to be a guy like that. I think Swift's going to turn into the new Eckler. The way Eckler's been the past 2-3 years, I think Swift's going to turn into that role of being that pass-catching back out of an offense that's going to be behind a lot and have to score points, and he's going to get some cheap garbage points all the time.
That being said, do you want to keep an Eckler for 4 years?
No, I don't want to keep Eckler.
I don't want to keep Swift.
I would keep Swift, though. See? If I get Swift in the second round, I'll keep that.
You're going to keep him in the first the year after, too, though. That's the thing, man. Well, I don't see this guy.
I draft well, son.
He's not
I don't have to use it. I don't have to pick one player and ride his back like you did
Swift
to get lucky to get a ring. I could get a person in the 7th round, 3rd round, 5th round, no matter.
You don't win back-to-back championships without having great keepers.
Yeah, you had one fucking guy. Listen, guys, he's talking like he's doing.
I drafted last the next year, still won a dang thing. Still, it was nothing.
Anyway, what about J.K. Dobbins? Yeah, he's back. He's off the PUP. He's going to be available. How high would you draft him? People are scared about his injuries. What do you think?
I think you'd be extremely scared of his injury history. That is something that is.
How much history has he got?
This past season, his is leg. His is ligament damage. That is something that you don't know what the player is like in his position. It is extreme.
Let me ask you a question then. Cam Akers, who came back real quick, or J.K. Dobbins? Because I think both of them are going to have a very good year that people are sleeping on. Who would you take? What would you pick?
I'll take Cam first because
of the offense?
Because of the offense.
Because the quarterback can throw?
Because they can take the pressure off.
Because the quarterback can throw, right?
They can take the pressure off of
And the quarterback can throw?
No, because no matter what play, I don't see J.K. Dobbins not taking a hit. Because when Lamar is on the run, the running back blocks now.
You love Lamar Jackson. I can't wait to see what happens with Lamar Jackson. Either I'm going to eat crow or I'm going to be giving it to his ass all year long. All year long. Kamara, you said you were scared?
Yes.
Where would be the highest you would draft him? I'm still going first. I'll take Kamara in the first round. Where would you take him?
I mean, he's got to go in the upper second. If he's not,
so we're pretty much on the same page. You doing nothing crazy.
No, but my issue with him is I can't keep him.
He's not a keeper because of what you said about.
Right. So he can't go no earlier than he can't go in the first.
I still take him in the first because, like I said, I win.
There's only one pick that needs to not worry about a keeper in the first. That's mine.
Right. Your number one wide receiver getting drafted too early. Wide receiver getting drafted too early.
Number one wide receiver getting drafted too early right now is Chase Claypool.
I mean, that's like the 9th round, dude.
There's not the wide receivers are such a good market.
You can't get nobody before the 9th round.
I don't have any busts in the wide receiver outside of Tyreek Hill.
I got tons of busts.
Tyreek Hill might be the only.
You just hate the Dolphins. Brandon, he hates the Dolphins.
I picked the QB. Of course, I'm gonna pick the
him and Swole Daddy. You got to get on their ass on the Raw show, yo. Him and Swole Daddy. Go ahead.
They just don't have a QB that fits his skill level. I don't believe that Tyreek is built to run across the middle and drag a DB with him for too long. So I don't see Tua keep giving him the ball that way and Tyreek being successful. So Tyreek's looking at a big regression.
Tyreek's in what, the 2nd round? People are drafting?
People are drafting him in the high 2nd.
Where would you take him?
Tyreek after Waddle in the 3rd.
Hold on. You would take Waddle over Tyreek Hill?
I'm taking chemistry over convenience.
So if you're going to do that, what was my point about Marvin Jones over Christian Kirk?
Marvin Jones is a college guy who never played in this style of
Marvin
offense.
Jones scored many points last year with Trevor Lawrence in some dysfunctional situations.
Old ass Marvin Jones?
He was scoring points last year.
We're not taking him. We're not even drafting this dude. No.
I said he wasn't drafted. But what I was saying was,
why
spend a 7th round
because he runs a 4.8 now. That's
doesn't matter about that.
No way. Don't draft that guy. No. Christian Kirk runs a 4.40 and he's blitz fast. He's definitely the guy.
I agree with that, Brandon. Miami's definitely gonna finish better than Denver and New England.
Not a chance in the world.
I think so.
You got 2 teams in your division. You might.
I think they're gonna finish better both of them.
New England's gonna.
So you said
New England's.
I am dogging every Kansas City wide receiver. Juju Smith. I think I would never draft him before 9 rounds. But my number one overdrafted player is Deebo Samuels. Is that Timmy? Oh, Timmy, our draft is Sunday, so be ready. Be ready, Timmy. I don't want to hear no excuses this year when I win another one of these. Anyway, what do you think about Deebo? I got him. What people drafted him in the second round. I just can't see it.
I don't like his QB. Again, wide receivers are through history QB dependent, and he has a rookie and a D2 rookie starting for him. So nah. Debo's a high draft pick. I would take at the end of the second to the beginning.
So
of the
you would still take him at the end of the second?
He's got such high pedigree.
Where are you taking Brandon Ayuk?
Never.
What?
I don't like Ayuk. I haven't liked him as a rookie.
See, I think he's
underperformed every year
because of his quarterback.
No, Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than Trey Lance right now. Right now.
That's why his
day
ass
one.
Is, that's why
day one. Day one. He's it's the contract. Day one. Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than Trey Lance, and definitely was last year.
So why would they let him go then?
Brandon Ayuk is not the guy.
Why would they let him go there?
He's a Jalen Reagor. Jimmy, because of the contract, $24 million.
Well, we got 4 minutes left on the podcast on Spotify, but we're not done yet for the YouTube. So y'all stay with us. So this cuts off on the podcast. Thank y'all for joining us on the podcast. Appreciate y'all. Everything else, everybody else is live. We still got some stuff to talk about.
Thank you.
Anyway, so all right, we're a little different on that. I said another one was Hunter Renfrow. I'm not happy with Renfrow. I think everywhere Devontae Adams is gone, the next receiver ain't done nothing. What do you think?
I think that's true, but Devontae Adams has only gone to Green Bay. So, I mean, and Aaron Rodgers is kind of.
But it's been 1,000 receivers in Green Bay.
Jordy was,
Jordy was before Devontae Adams,
and then you had Randall after him. And then
where's he at?
But there was never that really number 2 guy that was out there just busting.
Who's the number 2 guy now?
Man, Derek Carr's thrown to 2 receivers before. Michael Crabtree and homeboy from Cooper. Threw to them both. He's thrown to 2 outside guys. The guy that I see Adams taking from is Adams going to take touchdowns away.
Adams will be overdrafted.
Adams might be overdrafted, but
you take him in the first round, though, right?
Yeah, Renfro's not being overdrafted. Waller is. Waller is in that offense.
So Waller is getting drafted, what, 4th, 5th round?
Yep.
What tight end would you take later? Like maybe 6, 7, as opposed to Waller, you can get the same production. What do you think?
Oh, the same production as Waller?
Or similar production?
I would like to take, honestly, Alberto. And I know you're going to call me a homer there. But Darren Waller is.
You told me earlier he might not even play.
No, Albert. No, my rookie positive is Dulcich because he's the backup for Russell Wilson, not the backup for Matt Ryan. But
Albert O. But Russell Wilson throwing to everybody in there. Javonte Williams is going to rush for 2,000 yards.
We just lost Tim Patrick.
Jerry Judy's going to do this. Everybody's going to do that.
Albert O's taking a jump, and it might be to Waller's level.
I'm sorry. Waller is going to be night and day compared to Albert O guys. Okay? If you want to take somebody later than Waller to get the similar production, you're taking Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, or Cole Kmet. Those are the kind of guys you're looking at.
Mo Alley Cox will outproduce
Trevor
Cole Kmet.
Yeah, thank you, Brent. Trevor
Mo Alley Cox will outproduce Cole Kmet.
Because you think that Matt Ryan is a fantasy backup.
Not because I think because I don't see another. I see him as probably the second or third option on that team.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you think Mo Alley Cox is going to catch more balls than Nyheim Hines?
Possibly.
No. There's no.
Mo Alley Cox might catch 50 balls next year.
How many Hines going to catch then?
Maybe 35, 40.
So you think Taylor's going to catch a bunch of balls?
Yes.
I think I agree with that. I think Taylor's going to have an uptake in catching balls. I really do agree with that. DK Metcalf. I'm not drafting anybody on Seattle other than maybe Walker late. Would you draft? I still see Metcalf in the 6th round, 5th round. Are you trusting that?
I know that QB in Seattle.
Geno's going to be the starter.
Sure. And they're going to have to start Drew eventually because they traded for him. And both of those guys are garbage. Don't take DK.
You love Drew Lock.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to just leave that. It's so inflamed.
You loved Drew Lock,
Can't touch
Trevor Siemian, Teddy Bridgewater.
I never liked Drew
Anybody
Lock.
that's been associated with Denver,
nah.
This guy has been kissing their butts all the time.
I've liked one QB since Cutler left, and his name's Trevor Siemian. And Peyton Manning. But Peyton wasn't really my QB. I love him. He got me my ring. But
No, that defense got that ring, not Peyton
Mhm.
Manning. The year that Peyton Manning did it, he got destroyed by Seattle.
Nobody will touch that.
So what about the guys? I'm looking at guys like DJ Moore. DJ Moore's getting drafted late second, high third. I think that he could go higher than some of these guys that's already there. What do you think?
I think that he's fit appropriate into that late second, high third. I don't look for him to land on my roster because of that, but he's fit appropriate. If he falls down to the end of the third, he won't be there.
Okay. What about I'm high on Mooney only because the Bears suck and they're gonna be behind every game. That's another reason why I like Cole Kmet. Same thing you like to say, the rookie quarterbacks like tight ends. I know Justin Fields ain't a rookie, but it's almost like he's a rookie. What about Mooney? Mooney, you can get him like 7th, 8th round. I think there's value there.
I think Mooney's a sleeper, definitely.
Mooney. And I'll tell you one guy that I would put up I would take him in the 3rd round. Allen Robinson for the Rams. I saw what Robert Woods did for him. He won me many games. And I think Allen Robinson is a way better wide receiver. He's just been in putrid places. Jacksonville, Chicago. Justin Fields can't throw nobody the ball, especially a talent like Allen Robinson. I think Stafford is going to utilize that. He's a big target. I think Robinson's in for a breakout day.
He can easily be in for a breakout day. I mean, he's got an upgrade at QB. So we're going to see some.
I'd say so because we got trash Fields and super trash Trevor Siemian. I mean, it don't get much worse than those.
Better than his
Trevor Siemian. And if you don't even know how to say his name, if you don't like football, you be like Trevor Seaman. Yeah, because he sucks like that.
Nah, he's that good.
Yeah, he's definitely horrible. Somebody that I've talked about a lot, and people dog me about. He's going undrafted. His team sucks. Kadarius Toney. He's a guy that's an athletic guy who, when you get the ball in his hands, he can make things happen. What do you think about him? Now, not necessarily have to draft him, but he's somebody to watch out for, to scoop up. Kind of like I remember when Odell was a rookie. He got hurt in the beginning and nobody had him. I remember picking him up. He helped me through the playoffs to win.
Right.
Could Kadarius Toney be somebody like that to just pop in and help you win some games later on in the year?
I think his talent is real. So, I mean, if Daniel Jones was able to bring anything together, Kadarius Toney is something dangerous. Definitely somebody to monitor because his talent is serious.
I agree with that. So who you got that's undervalued? Anybody? Don't say nobody on Denver, please, because Courtland Sutton's getting overdrafted too. I don't want to hear it.
For my sleeper on wide receiver side,
yeah,
Rashad Bateman, buddy. You know that other guy I love.
And I like Bateman. He's on my team on the podcast league. I think they ain't got nobody else to throw it to.
No, exactly. And Mark Andrews, I don't see him. He's going, if like you think Kelsey's going to be covered and cost them so much, I think the loss of Hollywood is going to cost Andrews even more.
I agree.
So
and Bateman showed up a little bit. The games he played last year, he looked all right.
Bateman's catch radius is twice as large as Hollywood.
We're going to get to the rookies, Keith, in just 1 second.
I mean, I'm in love with Bateman's catch radius for Lamar because Lamar's not accurate. And
he's not what?
He's not accurate. He's not an accurate QB.
If he can't throw the ball.
He's not an accurate QB. But if he breaks the pocket, it's not like he's got like a 2-to-1 touchdown record.
Sorry, I'm just posting the podcast. Go ahead.
But this guy, he can hit the ball to a receiver at the NFL level. He just needs somebody who can catch the ball. And Hollywood is not. He's a finesse receiver with a brute quarterback. It didn't fit.
So Hollywood's gonna blow up with Kyler, though, right?
Is Kyler a finesse quarterback?
Kyler's gonna get out of the pocket, kind of like AKA Russell Wilson when he got out the pocket to hit Tyler Lockett and play players. I can see that happening. Tyler Lockett with Russell Wilson when he would run around, backwards around, getting sacked and throw it deep to Tyler Lockett. I can see the same thing happening with Kyler Murray and Hollywood Brown.
What about Moore?
DJ Moore?
No,
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore had connection last year.
I think that Rondale Moore is somebody. I won't draft him, but in the same idea of Kadarius Toney. Keep your eye on these kind of guys because by week 1 or so, you kind of see how long they're on the field.
Right.
How often they're on there on third down. If you start seeing it then, grab them then. Grab them then because within the next week or so, they're going to be a big part of the game plan. So these are kind of guys that you need to watch out for early in the season. Brandon said Moore's a playmaker. Garrett Wilson sucks and he's hurt. Now I'm just saying he's not hurt. Garrett Wilson's all right. I was thinking about the quarterback, the MILF Hunter.
No, Garrett Wilson is a beast.
He is a beast. Ohio State. I like that, Timmy. George Pickens is the guy. That's the reason why we both down on Claypool.
I mean,
you don't like the quarterback part of it.
No.
But I think that he takes Claypool's role. They're similar about everything they do.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of
more aggressive. He's more Pickens is more aggressive than Claypool, and that's hard to do.
So, all right, so let's get to the tight ends before we finish up with the rookies. Tight ends we already talked about. You said we both agreed that Waller was. I'm like, why are we drafting George Kittle?
Why? I'm not
drafting George Kittle in the third round.
That boat. Why are you going to take? I know that rookie tight ends or rookie quarterbacks throw their tight ends a lot, but I just don't see Trey Lance being a good QB and George Kittle's going as a top 3, top 4 tight end. And I'm like, dude, I see him as a 7-10.
Yeah, I do too. I think with the way the quarterback is, the way he runs,
right?
I think that Kittle, who's known for blocking, is gonna be blocking a lot more. You know what I mean? Because this dude's gonna be scrambling, running around, not knowing where he's gonna throw the ball. Kittle, I am done with. I will not draft George Kittle. I don't care if he falls to me in the 8th round. I can't do it because I will take Cole Kmet, who I know is gonna catch a pass more than him. You know what I mean? I know
Brittle Kittle. Brittle Kittle.
I can't do it. So what about TJ Hockenson? We talked about the Lions offense. I used to love him. I think this might be the year where I step back on him.
I think this is a prove it year. So that's understandable. He's definitely in a prove it year. I think he definitely has talent, though. This guy's extremely talented, and there was a reason he was ranked so high coming out of tight end and out of college as a first round prospect. So I look for him to actually increase his play this year. I think that he has that in him. He can step up, and he's going to see that contract looming and take it out of Indy. That's what his goal is.
Okay. I've never seen Jared Goff.
Detroit.
I've never seen Jared Goff throw the tight ends, even when he was at the Rams.
Right.
He doesn't favor the tight ends. No, I don't care how talented you are. He likes that slot guy or that certain receiver that he wants. I think St. Brown and Swift are going to be big shares of all those targets. One guy I do like is Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. I know they were both Philadelphia Eagles, but Zach Ertz, he came around early with the Cardinals. Like, it didn't take him long after he got traded. He fit in quickly with them. And I think with D-Hop out for 6 games, yeah, we got Hollywood, but he's more of a stretch the field kind of guy. I could see Ertz having a big-time role, especially the first 6 games. What do you think?
I'm really not a fan of Ertz. I think his age has caught him at the end of the year last year. It wasn't a lack of production or like he fit in early, but then that's why you said early. Because we kind of were like, what happened at the end of the year with Ertz?
Well, the Cardinals fall apart at the end of the year.
They did.
They're like the New York Mets. We look good in the beginning, and it's like,
and Ertz has kind of done that to me in the past as well, as an Eagle, falling apart at the end of the year. Concussions and things became an issue. So I'm kind of actually looking at his age, his body, and thinking that this might be a year where, when asked to do too much, it shows.
Yeah, we're gonna see about that, but we'll see. I already told you about Cole Kmet. Irv Smith Jr. I've talked to as many people about this Viking offense. Who's their coach now? Who was the coordinator for the Rams? That high-octane offense. You got Justin Jefferson, who might fill that cup role. Dalvin Cook, who's coming back healthy. I think Irv Smith is going to be somebody to watch out for. What do you think?
I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot. I think
he's not getting drafted.
You pick him up in free agency.
Right.
He's a streamer at best. I mean, maybe he's a starter by week 10, but don't even touch him if you don't have to.
So Thielen and Justin
he's not even a waiver.
Is that it? Just them 2 wide receivers?
Oh yeah.
Thielen and Jefferson.
Well, you got Cook. I mean, you've got Cook.
It.
So that's about it. That's all you need. I mean, those 2 guys are pretty legit.
That's true. All right, well, cool. So we gave y'all a brief. Actually, it's not brief, it's an hour. We can go on forever. But we got to hit the rookies because the rookies are the guys that we talk about when we have keepers. And when you can get a rookie, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a rookie in the first 5 rounds. So when you can get a rookie in 5 rounds or later, this is how you help dynasty leagues, keeper leagues, things like that. So if you had a rookie that you're keeping your eye on, that you had to keep as your keeper next year, one rookie you have to keep wherever you draft him, who you rookie. I think
anything next year.
I think I know who you're going with. You already said he's going to be the leading rusher.
Probably James Cook.
You're taking him over Brian Robinson Jr.?
Yeah, definitely.
So you think James Cook is going to take Singletary's job?
I think Singletary's on his way out, whether or not it's Cook that takes his job. They could draft another running back next year and ruin your pick, but you'll get another chance to keep somebody else. But if I was going to be drafting late, I would grab James Cook because I think he has a better shot at being the number one guy.
Because he'll be your keeper the following year.
Yeah, this was a hard year to really find that high-ranked offensive, explosive guy in the draft. So it's an unfortunate year for that.
You took a running back, but I got two other running backs that I would take better than them.
Do not take Kenneth Walker.
Pierce. I would take Pierce for Houston. I think that he's going to have that job day one. I think you can get him round 10 to be a starting running back for your team. And I'm taking Breece Hall. I know, I agree with Brandon. I think people are drafting him too early. Mm-hmm. I think people are taking him third round, things like that. But like I said, that 5-round window or below, if I get him in the 5th round, I'll take a flyer on that to be my keeper.
In the 5th round, he definitely works.
I'll take that. And don't forget about Robinson Jr. for us. As far as wide receivers go, if you had to pick one wide receiver for the following year to be your keeper, who would it be in the round 5 and below?
Christian Watson out of Green Bay.
So you're taking Watson. See, I'm thinking of the same team. I got Romeo Doubs. I think Doubs is the guy. I think Doubs is the one showcasing. Him and Aaron Rodgers are going out to dinner with each other.
That's because it ain't working.
No, they're going out to dinner because he trusts him. He dogged the whole room of wide receivers. But taking him out to eat, that means you trusted him, yo.
I'm trusting Christian Watson and his physical abilities. He is a specimen.
See, I look at sideline 7. I agree, Brandon. I think Pickens is going to be a guy. But I don't even know if I'm going to draft Pickens. Could you draft Pickens?
Yeah.
14-team league again.
Oh, I can draft him in a 12.
Can you?
You can draft Pickens in the 10th round if you want to.
No way.
He could easily be wide receiver 1.
You're taking Pickens over London.
Yes.
No, I'm taking London in the 9th round.
I see Pickens as being the number 1 rookie wide receiver, but not he's not going to be the second-year league guy.
I can't agree with that. I think Olave is going to have a big year. I think my guy's going to do good.
Yeah, your guys is somebody.
I think my guy's a guy y'all better watch out for.
I almost put him on that list.
I'm just saying,
put him on that list.
I'm just saying, man, I think that these guys are going to be better than Pickens. Not saying that Pickens is going to be something special. It kind of goes back to the quarterback and the people around him. We look at Washington. I ain't really scared of nobody but Scary Terry. So, I don't know. That's why I like Robinson Jr. and Dotson. So, we'll see. What's your final thoughts about this fantasy season? We got a Raw Sports Talk League draft tomorrow. And on Friday on the Raw show, we're going to do a recap. We're going to talk about it. And I'm hyped. You hyped? I'm hyped.
My God.
I know Keith hyped. We've been talking about it.
I've got 3 screens set up already. I'm telling y'all.
So what's your final take on fantasy this year?
I mean, my final take on fantasy this year is I think it's a great year. We've got a lot of fresh openings right now. We've got a healthy McCaffrey, which we haven't seen in a while. We've got Jonathan. We got a new number 1 guarantee, Jonathan Taylor. We haven't seen that in a while. That's been amazing to see. This new quarterback with Josh Allen mixing up the game too. This is a fresh year with fantasy football with a lot of change up in the rankings. A lot of big names moved this offseason. It's going to be interesting. This is a wide open year.
I think that's why you look at fantasy drafts and different teams that I've seen already. You never know. They all look good because you don't know. There's so many chances, so many obstacles. So going into Terrell's take to finish the show, I'm going to just put it out there like this. In a year where everything's crazy and you don't know, we agreed on some things, we disagree. We don't know everything. People commented, we don't know. That's what makes it fun. This is fantasy football. We have fun. So take some of the stress out of it. Pick some players that you enjoy watching that's on your team. I'm a Redskin fan and my team sucks, but I'm going to try to get at least one player. So enjoy yourself. Have fun with it. You can still be competitive, but have some players on your team that you at least enjoy kind of watching. That makes your season a little bit better. Believe me, it's better than cheering for all these Eagles and Cowboys on my team, which will never happen. Believe it.
Ain't no way I ain't picking a Raider.
Thank you. Tommy, thank you for coming out. Appreciate you. We champions out here. Brandon, Keith, Amanda, who else was on there? Timmy. What was somebody else?
Drunk
Was on there. Drunk. I gotta find out who Drunk is.
Welcome, Drum.
Thank y'all for all chiming in. Appreciate it. Good luck in y'all's drafts. I got 3 this week. I don't know what everybody else got. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the love, support. This Saturday, be on the lookout for the live local talent Pacheco family. Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. Great show, baby. Great show.